So the Japanese scientist Masaru Emoto concluded in 1999 that the molecular structure of water is indeed affected by the vibration of the words we speak and the actions we emote. So he concluded that merely saying the words, I love you, God bless you, I believe in you, will change the molecular structure in such a way to enhance water, to act positively upon whatever is around it. But saying the words, I hate you, I'm angry with you, I don't believe in you, I don't think you can do this, don't even think about doing that, will change the molecular structure of the water such to have a negative impact on whatever it is around. And ignoring the water completely, not acknowledging that it exists, will have the worst impact upon whatever it is around. And this, in 3 days, my jars. This is my love wala jar. Look at it. Look at how the rice is. It's only been 3 days, okay? This is my hate wala jar. There's been very nominal change in it, not really noticeable as such. But this is my ignore wala jar. Look at what's happened in just 3 days. This is my ignore. Hate. Love. Now look in, see this, I'm showing you close-up shot inside the love wala jar, okay? The water is fairly still, right? Fairly still. There are no bubbles. She's very sweet and shant. Look inside the hate wala jar. Can you see these bubbles? They are fermenting. They're like they're about to take off into something. See the inside part. Again, I'm showing you. This is hate and this is love. No bubbles. It means no bubbles. Come mera finger idhar. No bubbles here on this level. Completely shant. And look here. Not shant at all. Bubbles. And ignore. And look inside the container. Pura. I cannot touch her. Because if I touch, then she's no longer ignored. देखो क्या हो रहा है. Wow. Experiment results. Hi. So I came home today. And in the car on the way here, we were talking about the rice experiment. And I got a little, like, nothing's happening in the jars. I don't know what's happening in the jars. I haven't really been extending hate, like saying hateful comments and, things like that. So I came home, and if you look here, I'm going to show you this, okay? Because it actually has done something to my heart. Like, it's moved me to tears, and I'm sharing my first reaction with you. So I came home, and now this is my love jar, this is my hate jar, and this is my ignore jar, okay? On the surface of it, see, it looks fine. It looks fine. Relatively fine. But I don't know what made me look closer today. So this is what's inside my love jar. Can you see that? Inside, just one little speck of yellow, that's about it. Now look what's inside my hate jar. Hate. Look what's happening in there. Oh my God. I'm flipping out inside. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And then look what's happening inside my ignore jar. I'm just so emotional right now. I hadn't even bothered to look to see what was happening inside. I was just looking at the surface from this angle and just leaning up a little. This is ignore. Look at that. This is hate. And I haven't even been really showing her hate. And this is love. I've been kissing on her, saying I love you. But maybe I must have missed a day or two. But look. Does this not freak you out? Does this not do something emotionally to you? Let me know your thoughts. Bye.
This one looks so bad right now and so ignored. This one is good. This one is okay, but this one, what have we done with it? This one, like, you can eat it thoda. It's paka hua rice now. This one is still thoda kacha rice. but this one is just rotten rice right now. Yes, so here I am feeling sad for this jar, the ignore one. Yes.
So today's going to be the last day of the experiment where we were going to test to see the effect of vibrations on water, the effect of energy on water. We had 3 containers, if you remember, one that said love, one that said hate, and one that said ignore. And to the container that was marked love, we were going to say I love you. To the container that was marked hate, we were going to say I hate you. And the container that was marked ignore, we were just going to ignore. The theory or the principle being around the fact that we as humans are we're made up of 60 to 70% of water. So how water reacts to the vibration of words or to the vibration of even our actions is what we were testing. So if the rice reacted to love differently, hate differently, and ignore differently, then it stands to hypothetically reason that that is also what happens within us when we speak lovingly to ourselves or when we speak lovingly to somebody else, versus if we speak hateful words or words of anger to somebody else or ourselves, versus if we ignore ourselves or if we ignore other people, what is the effect that it has on us. So we're going to hop over to the kitchen now where I have my 3 jars sitting, and we're going to take a look. But if what we looked at last time was any indication, I can only hypothesize that it's just going to be worse today than it was that day. And to be very honest with you, I haven't been the most diligent about the love or the hate container. Given my schedule, I've been just saying cursory I love yous and I don't like yous. So let's take a look and see what's happened to the containers. Okay, so here I am in the kitchen and we're going to take a look at what's happening to the containers. Just to remind you, we have a love container, a hate container, and an ignore container. I'm going to flip this camera around so we can see them. This is our love container. It's clearly marked love. And you can take a look inside. Well, I'm going to try and do it this way so you can see from the outside as well as from the inside. You can see it. Basically, the consistency looks like white rice. It has one small, I'm going to flip this around here. It has one small speck in here that you can see. Other than that, it looks pretty good. Doesn't look bad at all. This is the hate container. You can see I've marked it hate. And you can clearly take a look at what's happening inside. You can even see from the side that it's become green, yellow, and if you look inside the container, it's black. But what gets me the most is we associate the color of red with anger. And look, it actually has red inside of it. I'm gonna bring it down so maybe it's a little easier to see the red and what's happening inside the container. Now, it's important to remember, all we said to this container is I hate you, or I'm angry with you, or we just smacked it just like that. That's about all that's been happening here. And then, of course, here's the ignore container. You can just see we've barely touched it. Even to clean, we've really not been moving the container around, and you can pretty much see it's just black all the way in. And even if I turn the container around, you can see it's yellow, it's rotted, it's been ignored. It's just been sitting off on the shelf in the container. And this is pretty much it. We had equal amounts of rice and water in all 3 containers. The containers are the same shape and size. They've been put and left in the same part of the house, which has been the kitchen. They've been put on the same shelf, and I'm going to turn this around to show you. They're on the same shelf right above the stove. They've got the same amount of lighting, the same amount of the temperature's been the same for all 3 of them. So the only thing we can hypothesize is that it has indeed been the effect of our words and actions that have made the water turn the rice black, yellow, red in the case of hate, or not at all, not change at all in the case of love. So begs to differ that we must think about what we are saying about others, what we are saying to others, what we are saying about ourselves, and what we are saying to ourselves. It's a super important experiment, and we're really glad that we gave this a shot to test for ourselves whether the hypothesis that the Japanese scientist had come up with was true or not. And we're really thankful that he created this experiment for all of us to try. And we have more coming your way. Stay tuned. Has concluded. We carried on the experiment for 17 days. We started on January 28th, 2020, and we have concluded it today, which is February 11th, 2020. And we have seen just in these few days that indeed the love container, without even really getting love every single day because of my crazy busy schedule, the love container relatively stayed the same. It had just one little small speck. The color, the consistency, the smell was rather the same. The hate container had elements of black, yellow, and red. What got me the most is red is the color we associate with anger, and the hate container had red in it. What are the odds? I gotta believe there is something people knew way before we did, that they associated the color red with anger, and the rice is red. And then the last, our ignore container, clearly all black. As a teacher, as a coach, as a parent, it makes me wonder on all sorts of levels the implications of this that we have on one another. As a parent, it makes me wonder when I say negative things to my children, negative things about my children, how it must be impacting them. Do I want something inside of them that is turning black, that is turning yellow, that is turning red? Or should I be speaking words of encouragement, positivity to them, which allows them to rise, to become the best versions of themselves? And ignoring, it is something I have used as a parent. If I find it best to step away, especially in these teenage years where the kids just believe they know better than everybody else, to just stay away and allow them to make their own mistakes. It makes me wonder, should I as a parent be stepping in? Should I as a parent now make different choices now that I know what impact it could be having within them? As a coach that works with so many 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, I push them to be the best versions of themselves. I'm assertive about it. I ask of them, I demand of them a higher standard. How do I do that differently now that I know the impact it can have within them? And I challenge you to think about what this experiment is doing within you as a parent, doing within you as an educator, and within you as someone interested in self-care and being the best version of yourself. When you are calling yourself fat or not good at math, or when you are talking about your hair looking a certain way or your eyes being a certain way, what are you indeed messaging, and what are you indeed sending inside your body? Are you putting that negative vibration and that black energy and that red energy into your body? Or are you going to speak positive words of encouragement, words of support to yourself so that you can become the best version of yourself? Think about it. And if you have some comments, if you have some thoughts, go look up Masaru Emoto. Go look up his amazing work. Go check out his amazing videos. And if you don't believe these results, we challenge you to do this experiment yourself. Take 3 similar containers in size, shape, and material. Put equal quantities of rice in all 3 of them, equal quantities of water in all 3 of them. Label one love, label one hate, label one ignore. I love you to one, I hate you to the other, and ignore the third. Try it out, see what the results are that you get, and then let us know if your results are any different than what we got. We wish you well. Stay happy, speak positively to yourself and others, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye-bye.